Well, hello my beautiful Taurians, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of July right through the end of August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, you may notice the Gaia chimes have been reinstated. I miss them too much, so of course I had to bring them back there. So please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile will be the unified energy of how things come together in the next 6 weeks, okay? Now, I don't know if you noticed, with the Gaia chimes, there was this really interesting energy. It was almost like two people trying to love each other, and it's very kind of like clumsy. It's almost like two people trying to learn how to love. That's what I was being given in the energy. And it's almost like the echoes of the relationship, a stillness, a quietness that has occurred, a stalemate. So you may not be, of course, in connection with your person right now, and we'll tap in to see what's going on with each person's vibration. But I really felt an energy of two people kind of understanding that there's something different about each other. Something that they've never experienced before, something that feels very curious, but almost like this clumsiness where, you know, it's like discovering unconditional love for the first time, this all-consuming energy and being like drawn to it, but also equally terrified of it. That's what I felt coming out in the energy. So perhaps this will resonate with you in some way, shape or form. But let's get to your reading. Now, I want you to be aware, of course, that there is a very fine line between twin flames and false flames. And false flames will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time. You know, twin flames are magnetic. You're drawn to this person and it's all-consuming. It is a love like no other. However, the difference between twin flames and false flames is that false flames, they will kind of trigger you in a way where there is no personal development, okay? Where it goes round and round in circles, nothing ever happens. You cannot see a person trying to face their shadow self or try to activate any higher frequencies, okay? So that is a measure of a twin flame versus a false flame. You know, there will be no effort in growth. I mean, you may go round and round circles with a twin, but they're trying. And you can see that. You can see that they're trying to learn more about themselves, about the dynamic, and that they're not just coming in for the physical side of a connection. They're not just hitting you up when they feel bored or when they feel they're at a loose end. You know a twin flame when they're trying to reach out and they're trying to come to grips with their feelings. Twin flames, you know, they're a very challenging experience. Not everybody takes a twin flame dynamic because often there is a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. And the separation period, of course, is very painful, very lonely, very discombobulating. Like, what's going on here? How is it that I feel the love and they can feel it too? And it never quite fits, or it never quite connects in some way. There's a space in between, and that tends to be the separation period. It's always a bit of a rite of passage in a twin flame dynamic. There tends to be that space, that breath between twins at some point. And of course, it's not always typical to form, but there does tend to be a runner, chaser, and a separation period. And it's worth noting that when you meet your twin, of course, it is all-consuming. It feels like a love like no other. You're passionate, you know, you can't stop thinking about this person. It just feels so intense. You've never felt anything like it. And twin flames, you know, they share the same soul frequency. That's why you're drawn to each other. There is a connection like no other. And it is an identical frequency at your core. So if you think about twin flames like magnets, you know, both identical in polarities, both drawn to each other. There's a push and pull, but also you repel each other. There's that space in between. And it means that there is things within self that needs to be looked at, blockages that need to be healed and processed for both parties to come together, to literally set themselves free. Now, of course, it will be very physical in nature, a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of devotion, a lot of trying to work things out, work feelings out, and of course, a lot of the shadow self being triggered, because the twin flame is a spiritual awakening. It's more of that rather than an actual physically romantic relationship. It's a process that prepares both parties to release low vibrational energy that has existed before you even meet your twin, that keeps us and the twins, you know, in perpetual cycles of fear, addictive patterns, unhealthy attachments, you know, maybe even learnt behaviors, trigger responses that keep playing out in their lives. So it is a process and a very intense inner vibrational transformation, but it is a personal journey of discovery, and it is one that must be done alone at some point, and that's what triggers the separation period. Because once we peel back all the layers and learn more about ourselves, learn to love ourselves in a different way, learn about our sense of purpose, because twin flames, you know, they have a mission in each lifetime, and of course, to embrace unconditional love for self. Only then can the reunion process really take place and be sustainable. Now, it's a formed sacred union, which is a result of shared difficulty and pain, which means you may notice that you and your twin have had very similar lessons or experiences in life. You know, your twin tends to be a mirror of all the things that you have been going through, but also all the things that perhaps you're avoidant of. So, you know, they reflect back to you your greatest strengths, but also your greatest weaknesses. And that can be a pretty exposing experience. So the chaser is willing to open themselves up to that process, to surrender to the intimacy of love. The depth of unconditional love can be overwhelming and all-consuming. And the runner, they look in that mirror and they see all the things within themselves that they are running away from. And they, you know, hide from their feelings. They deny their feelings, push back, push their twin away, deny, you know, that they need to do the work in order to come home to self, which is, of course, coming home to the twin flame vibration as well. So it's important to recognize that it is a transformational experience that is challenging, but twin flames are here to awaken each other, to stand in their primal power, to elevate their consciousness towards a union. Okay, and of course, this is an energy where both parties may be dealing with traumatic experiences from their past, but this transformation promotes healing and a greater understanding of love. And I also feel it's important to recognize that, you know, twins, they rarely encounter that depth of love with anybody, you know, so when they meet each other, they know instantly. And that's why it is such a shock to the very core of their system. And often, you know, they push away out of fear that they'll be sucked into believing in unconditional love, and then a person just doesn't show up for them. I'm getting that energy with your person. It's like they've made an effort in relationships in the past, and I feel that they were healing from something when they first met you, and it feels very much like they're very independent, you know, and it's almost like they have learned that love at some point abandons them. I feel this person has had to be very strong in their life, but I'll tap into their energy in a moment. But I just wanted you to have some sort of awareness of twin flame connections. They tend to carry invisible scars, faced with battles that no one should have ever had to endure, and they often feel unlovable. So, of course, there is self-loathing, and until they can love themselves fully, they cannot offer you the love that you truly deserve and desire. I always say, do not wait for your twin, because, you know, they have a path towards coming home to self as well, and it could take a long time, sometimes months, years, decades, days. It doesn't have to be that long, but, you know, it is a personal process. And some people say, you know, why can't twins just say how they feel? It's just easy. Well, it's not. The unconditional love aspect of feeling this overwhelming sense of love, especially if you've come from a position of trauma or abandonment, because twin flames tend to have had those sort of experiences. They're not handed the privilege of softness in their lives. So if you've gone through some really like deep stuff in your life, okay, you understand that you are part of a twin flame journey that has come here to understand different layers of life and different aspects of the human psyche. So you tend to have more intense experiences than everybody else, okay? And not everybody meets their twin in each lifetime, and not everybody takes the journey of the twin flame connection because it is so painful. And I see here you offer this person so much unconditional love, you know. You held on really a long time, even though it hurt. Okay, and I can see here with that Seven of Wands, you are a very strong person. And there may be a bit of an age gap in this twin flame connection because there is a maturity card here and they have the Fool card. So that can indicate that, you know, this person is either a little bit younger than you or they have a lot more depth to discover within themselves before they can match your vibration and align with the depth of love that you desire and deserve in a relationship there, okay? Now, as I was saying, why can't twins just articulate how they feel? Well, you know, often twin flames don't know how to articulate their feelings from a healthy place, and they need to learn that, and the twin flame dynamic triggers that within them to go away and do the work, okay? Often this trigger can, you know, amplify every fearful emotion to the surface. And you're experiencing that too, my beautiful Taurians. So this is not where I take sides. I do not take sides in readings. I try to understand from both sides so I can understand an outcome. So there's no blame game here. I'm just trying to understand the complexities of the twin flame dynamic and the choices that we make. Because sometimes, you know, we're so complex humans that we make decisions where we're like, what was I thinking? You know, when I met my twin, I had just come out of a very damaging relationship where I was a complete shell of myself. I was terrified of love because I'd been so damaged in a previous experience that I held on too long to. And when I met my twin, you know, there was this all-consuming feeling of love, of devotion, of like, you know what, I wanted to surrender to the union. I wanted to shout from the mountaintops that I loved my twin, but actually I was scared because of a previous experience. So I shut down. I didn't realize I was shutting down. You know, it's not something I was conscious of. I was not as mature as I am now. We all learn, of course, and there was definitely self-loathing there for me at that point, and I can see something like that with your person at this moment in time, but we'll go into your person in a moment. And basically, I pushed my twin away. I didn't want to. In fact, there were moments where there was such beautiful intimacy that as soon as they were like discussing their feelings, it's almost like I felt this like, I don't know, panic rising up within me, like I gotta get out of here. I can't give myself to this. So I kind of understand a little bit of the depth of a twin flame runner and chaser dynamic, and of course my twin felt me detaching and therefore took a step back. And that's where the magic lies, because remember the magnets. As soon as you have these two magnets that are drawn to each other, as soon as the chaser puts all that unconditional love for self inwards and on projects, you know, all this energy that you've been projecting out to your twin, suddenly you're putting inwards, and then you change the vibration. You are the magnet, right? You're changing the frequency within yourself to focus on your goals and dreams. I'm mentioning this because you have the Empress energy as your protagonist energy. You have such a beautiful heart. You are so lovable. You're attractive both inside and out, and you deserve the highest love that love has to offer. And this card indicates that right now you're in a period of nourishing yourself in a different way. So you're starting to notice it. And with that Seven of Wands, as you can see, you're stronger because of it, and you're breaking out of a cycle that you may have felt trapped in. There's an energy here of breaking free. The Seven of Wands can indicate that right now you're kind of like protecting your heart, defending yourself. You're not conforming to this anymore. There's been a cycle of repeat, and you say it stops now because you can't do this anymore. So, it's important to recognize that there is a dynamic where as soon as you pull away and say, actually, I'm enabling a cycle of repeat. Because a person, if they've got unhealed responses, they're going to be stuck in this pattern. So you're being the change, the catalyst that you want to see in this relationship. So I see here with this card that you are someone who still loves this person. That love isn't going away, but you're aware, especially with 2 sevens here, you're at a bit of a fork in the road. Sevens tend to be an evaluation period where you're feeling a little bit fed up, dissatisfied with the way things are going. You feel the exchange is not equal. You feel that you have to protect yourself against this. You may have also felt with that Seven of Cups that there is a commitment issue. Of course, that's an obvious thing, otherwise you wouldn't be here in this reading. But the Seven of Wands indicates that you're not really sure if you want to give up on this because you've come so far in this. Okay, but at the same time, you're aware that this cannot continue because you're exhausted. This is a lot of stress. The Seven of Wands actually means stress or tension, feeling that you're always on eggshells in fight or flight mode. There's this energy here of making a stand right now, though, for you, because there's this energy of should I fight for this or should I be careful and walk away? So I feel like you're in the middle of a decision right now. And the Seven of Wands, I mean, if you see this beautiful card, everything that's been experienced is etched on this person's body. So a lot of you may be looking at the scars that you bear, the invisible scars that you have from your previous experiences. So you may be courageous to set yourself free from things that perhaps have limited your ability to kind of I don't want to say this in a way that's going to offend anyone. It's just that you may have been very guarded even when you met this person. You offered them unconditional love, but you have been through some experiences where it cost you a lot. And I feel there was a barrier there because that's showing up in your reading. So it's not that you kind of are learning to love in a healthy way. I feel like there was a cautiousness about you, and this got amplified in the twin flame dynamic because that's what occurred. So for example, in my twin flame connection, I had a very challenging experience, a very toxic experience with a person before I met my twin, and there was a lot of trust issues. So as soon as I met my twin, those trust issues hit the roof, smash way through the roof. It was almost like I just could not see this person loving me and not wanting anyone else. Okay, and that was something that I had never really kind of addressed within myself based on what I'd experienced in my past, and it just played out, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. The fear just completely snowballed. So it can be that you have had some sort of wound before you met your person that got really amplified, and now you're taking the courage to break free from it, is my point. Okay, so that it allows you to go deeper when it comes to love. And there's a lot of depth to you, because I feel like you offer this. The Empress is, someone who loves unconditionally, and even when they feel pushed away, there's still love. And that's one of the hardest things to, fathom. So I feel with the Seven of Wands, you're protecting yourself right now. And, there's this energy, fight or flight, but also love is literally etched. You wear your heart on your sleeve to a certain degree, but there's still a caution there, because the Seven of Wands would not have shown up there. I feel you are protecting yourself at this moment in time because, of course, this is how you feel about your person. But also, this is an energy where there's this intensity, like a passion that kind of like sometimes pushes the obstacle out of the way and says, you know what, I'm going to break free and just let you in. I'm just going to still let you in. So I feel like you're in the fork in the road position right now where you're like, you want to be done because it hurts. Love hurts. You know, you've got all these painful experiences. There's even a toxic element there. So some of you may feel that the person that you're with has some sort of toxic cycle of repeat or even an addiction, you know, and there is this energy of you hoping that this person heals. They've got the star energy, so they are entering into a period of healing, but this is a card at keeping someone at arm's length. So I feel right now you may be really strict with yourself to break free from a cycle and keep this person, you know, at arm's length. You don't want to reach out to this person. You may have gone silent on this person because the Seven of Cups is an energy of like, almost like disappearing from this person's life or going ghost. Okay, it's like you're making them think. You want them to choose healing, but also you are choosing healing from some aspects that you've experienced in your life before you met your twin. Now, the Seven of Cups is an interesting card because it means you're actually looking at the decision position like that you're in and looking at every eventuality and outcome. So I feel like you're in the middle of making a choice right now. I actually feel like you turn heads. You do get a lot of attention and you have options, right? But I feel some of you are questioning right now. You're in this period of protecting yourself because this can be a card of new friendships, new relationships. So you may be contemplating getting out there, meeting new people. But at the same time, this card can indicate you're questioning the twin flame connection and wondering, was it just fantasy? Does this person feel anything? Was this a thing? Is twin flame even real? What's going on there? But I do feel that, you know, you did meet your twin. I can see the energy. And I feel that the key to unlocking all of this, because look at this, you literally have a keyhole and someone holding a key. So this person, it's like you do fit. You are meant to unlock some knowledge and elevate in your spirituality, connect to your sense of purpose in this connection. And I feel that there is the potential here to settle down in the future because we have the Queen of Pentacles, but this indicates self-care. Okay, a need to take oneself seriously in terms of loving a little bit deeper, to find grounding, to feel secure in a relationship. And that can only be done by the self. I mean, happiness comes from within. You have acknowledged that your happiness is not tied up within another. So a lot of you are exerting your independence in this by saying, I'm taking a stand and I'm not accepting this anymore. You are guarding yourself from this person being wishy-washy, in and out, inconsistent, not knowing what they want. And I feel in you questioning, there is this gateway to you even feeling right now whether you want to connect because you have so many doubts in this connection. And it's almost like I'm being given this energy that the relationship malfunctioned in some way. So let me just pull a quick card on that. I mean, looking at your person's energy, they got the Fool card and they got the Star and they also got the Page of Pentacles. So this tells me two things. Something from their younger years, it really hurt them. They made a lot of effort or they invested in something that looked like it was going to grow into something really special, but it got cut short and they got caught up in something here. So I will pull a card on their energy because right now they're in a vibration of healing, of aligning with their goals and wishes. I feel like they are trying to create a brighter future. They're focused on their finances, but I feel there's an energy of like needing to find stability. Okay, we have that Five of Wands. You're conflicted. Now, Five of Wands also indicates rivalry. So either you feel that this person has someone else and you feel they are a rival for your twin's affections, but you're the sort of person, my beautiful Taurians, if they had someone else, you would not engage. That would be it. It would be over. So I feel with that Five of Wands, more than anything, this is pressure. It is tension. It is, you know, conflict. It tends to mean that you're trying to confront something, an obstacle within yourself, an internal conflict, an inner battle, okay? But also, it's very interesting because if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there's 5 figures on the Five of Wands and they all have a wand, okay? Wands are all about action, about passion, about, you know, taking accountability and taking the initiative. And each person is trying to arrange all the wands and it's very clumsy. And that's the energy that I felt at the beginning of your reading. If you know this card, if you don't, look it up, but if you know this card, it's very clumsy where they're trying to create a star. They're trying to create healing. A star is all about healing. It's about pentacles. It's about investment. It's about knowing one's worth and making a difference in a relationship to align with each other, because a star represents an alignment. And there is a star here with your person. So I feel like there's this, dare I say, clumsy energy where everything will start to take shape. But I feel there is this conflict, but I feel this conflict is good in a way because it makes people see their motives, their intentions, what they want for the future. You know, it indicates that both of you are very different people and have different ways of dealing with things, but there lies a transformation. I mean, this particular card, the Five of Wands in this deck, it has a butterfly. You're in a period, like you're coming out of the chrysalis to transform. And, you know, when you're in that chrysalis period, even in a twin flame connection, it means it dissolves its sense of self. You feel lost in it. You don't really know which direction you're going with this. And it feels like it's empty. It feels like, you know, something's happening, but nothing's happening. So how can you feel a person, feel the bond between that person and still have no communication? You just know. You can feel their energy. It's weird, I know, but I felt it too. So it's an odd thing. So for example, you know, I would feel my twin and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel them so strong. And then I would get a message from them. Even one time I felt them so strong that I said to my friend, I just feel them so strong today. I don't know what this weird feeling is. And she laughed it off and was like, you're crazy. And I was like, I know. And I kid you not, about an hour later, I bumped into my twin in a big city of like millions of people, and there they were. And I did not frequent this area a lot with my twin, so the chances of us finding each other in that moment were quite small. But the universe drew us together in that moment to be like, oh, and it was like a very awkward situation. So it is an energetic exchange, and a lot of you may be trying to understand that at this moment in time. And it's almost like, again, I must remind you, never wait for your twin, because divine timing will happen. Remember, the universe drew me and my person together, right? So out of very unusual circumstances, and that happened so many times, not just once. Okay, to the point where I was like, this is crazy. Like, how can I keep like bumping into this person? This is weird in a huge city. So I started to realize there's something unusual about this, something different. And that is going to happen with you. If you're starting to see like numerical synchronicity, or there's some weird synchronicities going on, everything has a purpose, okay? But you must do the work for yourself. This is you honoring your journey and recognizing that your happiness is not tied up with your twin. It is to find, you know, that meaning, purpose, and passion within yourself. And your twin is a welcome addition to your life, okay, when they find their way to their healing. So we have the King of Cups. We have the Five of Wands there, King of Cups, Ace of Cups. There's so much love. So much love there. King of Cups, highest love that love has to offer. Ace of Cups, you know, it feels like a love like no other. It's unconditional. It is overflowing. It is an energy of possibility. You dream about this person. You can't stop thinking about this person. And I feel like you will hear from this person. There's communication in your future with this person. So the conflict is walking away from love, because you feel it and you know that this person deep down, even though you're questioning right now how it can be that you're separate or this person pushed you away, sometimes people push others away because they feel like they're not enough. I'm going to find out what's going on with your person, because that's not showing up readily available right now. But these two cards, there's love there. Okay, and it's not a figment of your imagination. I want you to be aware of that. I mean, that doesn't make it easier for you, my beautiful Taurians, but I need you to be aware of that. Now, your person has the Fool card. So this means that they are single. They are not attached, okay? This indicates that this person is thinking of you in a very playful way right now, because this is how they feel about you. The Star, you know, you shine brightly. This person, you offer a healing environment. The Page of Pentacles indicates that things started blossoming between you, and they realize that it's something that needs to be nurtured. But if you know the roses, they all have thorns. So it can be that this person has been hurt in the past, and they're very delicate when it comes to love. Now, of course, tell me who hasn't been hurt in the past in love before. I'm sure there's some people, of course, but, you know, it can be that you've experienced this too. And you're like, well, you know what? Yeah, great. They've been hurt. But also, what about me? So, of course, this is a factor. And this means that that is amplified within you for you to really dissect. Okay? To go from relationship to relationship is going to avoid looking at things like that. So that's just something that's coming up in this particular reading. May not resonate with everyone, but I have to acknowledge it. Show me a little bit deeper than the Fool card. What's going on with this person? Why are they healing? The Star energy, what are they healing? The Death card. Now, this is a major change in their life. This can indicate that this person has learnt that love leaves. They have learnt a lot of losses in love, shall we say. I feel this person has experienced maybe even a bereavement, but I'm going to pull a little bit more on that because the Death card can indicate that this person has gone through a very painful ending in a relationship. And I just want to be really precise about this person's energy because Three of Pentacles. Oof. They're focused on their projects. Ace of Pentacles. So the foundation of love and what it means to be in love is very important to this person, okay? I feel like they were involved in something that it feels like there's a lot of interference. So this person, I'm going to pull these two cards and see what's going on here. Ten of Cups, Page of Cups. This person, you know, I feel like something big ended in their life. Now, it doesn't have to be a previous relationship, but because we've got a Ten of Cups and the Page of Cups here, I feel after this very troubling time that they went through, you appeared. Ten of Cups, Page of Cups, that's the dream of love becoming a reality. That's the happy ever after. However, it's like this person with this Death card energy, it feels like they were grieving either some part of their life, or Three of Pentacles is an energy of like just focusing on their projects. But also I'm getting this kind of like, and then there were three. So I'm not really sure what this is about. Either this person was in a relationship where it got a little bit busy. Let's put it that way. Maybe they were cheated on. I'm going to have to pull with a different deck. But the Ace of Pentacles is like, and then you came along, because this is new investment. This is, you know, the universe stepping in to offer an opportunity of a healthy love. But it's like they have an attachment to something negative from their past. I mean, these two cards highlight the pathway to love, the twin flame journey. So I'm just going to pull with a different deck here, specifically on that Death card, the Three of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. I just want to know what this is because I'm hearing from my guides, and then there were three. So this could mean like a group of people that they were involved with, and one has transitioned and passed away. Or this can mean that they were in a relationship, and then they were cheated on. So let me just see what's going on there. The Moon, deception, Five of Swords, sabotage. Okay, so the Moon energy is hidden, things coming to light, you know, and the Five of Swords, I feel like this person had a hunch that they were being cheated on. Maybe they couldn't prove it, I'm not sure, but it basically sabotaged the connection. Okay, and there may be a trust issue with this person. So the Moon is to kind of like be very changeable. So I feel they may have been in a relationship that was very much up and down, a little bit toxic, maybe even a bully. They were with a bully, abusive relationship. That's what I'm being given, okay? So I feel this person was like, you know what? Love is messy. Love is painful. And I feel that they actually ended the relationship, not the other way around. I feel they ended it because they couldn't take this anymore, and they decided to focus on their projects. And then there were three. So that keeps coming out, and then there were three. The Star is what they're doing right now and how they're feeling about this connection. They know that they need to like put a spotlight on their healing journey in order to align with a brighter future. I mean, the Fool card can indicate how they feel about you. They want a fresh new start, but they're aware that they can't just come on in and be like, okay, I'm picking up where I left off. I feel that star energy is illuminating to them how they kind of like should have taken a leap of faith with this, recognize that, you know, you made so much of an effort in this connection that it really was something that was blossoming into something really beautiful, but they needed to nurture it and they didn't. As you can see, the rest of these, the rest of these roses are kind of like, you know, bent over. It's like they're not being tended to. And I feel this person is aware that they didn't tend to the connection, and now they are starting to mature, I guess, to a position where they want to invest. I mean, whenever you see dragonflies, it means that they know you are the person they were destined to be with, because dragonflies, they seek each other out and they dance for a very short time together, and it's beautiful and it is purposeful. So this person knows that you are their purpose, and they also know that it was very fleeting, and I feel this person will seek you out again. But looking at the energy, you're protecting yourself because you've been very hurt by this and maybe even angered. Your gut instinct, your fight or flight mode is like, no, they don't get access anymore, because Seven of Wands is to protect. It is to like make sure you defend yourself against this person, because they've offered you nothing but like inconsistency. So let me just pull a couple more cards regarding their energy, because pages bring news, and this is how they feel about you. So I realize that this person is going to send you a message, something that perhaps they have written out. Okay, my guys just said half written out. It's not finished. So there's a message that has been left unfinished that they will complete and they will send to you. We have the Strength card. So that is to be stronger than your obstacles and challenges. That indicates the courage to come forward. Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Their wish is to come towards you in love. The Strength. They want to be strong enough to open up to their emotions and love, the intimacy of love. So, you know, we have the Strength card. Interesting that it fell out of my hand. I feel this person, you know, just when they're feeling bold and strong enough, suddenly they bolt. There's some fear there, but I do feel they are trying. We have that Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, to feel content. One can only feel content within oneself first. And then, of course, we've got that Knight of Cups. Love, true love, the offer of love. This person is attracted to you, okay? And I feel this person is going to reach out to you with a compliment, something that they miss about you, something they feel they cannot live without is what is going to come through in this message. But I feel this time they want to take this relationship somewhere. They want it to lead somewhere. So I feel there is this energy of wanting to nourish it, wanting to start afresh, a foundation where they healthily articulate their feelings and try to overcome that fear or addictive pattern or whatever it has been in order to be a part of your life. But of course, your energy is like, prove it. I won't believe it until I see it. This is like, I don't believe. And this is like, I want to believe, but, you know, I've had past experiences that says, nope, you just do the same thing. We've been here before. The outcome energy, we have the Magician. Now, the Magician energy is very interesting because this can indicate that there was control in this connection. And sometimes, as I mentioned, humans are very complex. In order to control and erect a brick wall to protect oneself, they push another person away, even though they want to be with that person. Sometimes it is counterproductive to the relationship. Even though they love, they feel fear that they will be rejected. So therefore, they do the rejecting. And of course, that leads to a whole new world of hurt. So let me just pull a card on this manifestation card, because of course, this indicates both of you think about each other a lot. And you are going to be thinking about this person when this person reaches out. It's not going to surprise you. You're just going to know. Okay? And this card, it literally symbolizes what you can see in your mind, you can have in your hand. And a lot of you have been dreaming about this person, and you're going to have a dream about this person, and they're going to reach out. And I feel there is this energy that's different. There is a spiritual awakening here. Yes, both of you are cautious about this for different reasons, but I do feel there is a conversation about finding grounding in this relationship, wanting to settle down, wanting to talk about like the future is what I see, but I need to just pull some cards on this. I mean, the High Priestess energy indicates enlightenment, having faith, but also being in two worlds where you're trying to reach for something new in a relationship, but the old pattern, is tempting to fall back into. So it has an energy of being acutely aware, to keep an eye on things, to make sure accountability is there, to take responsibility for one's actions. But, the High Priestess is an interesting card because it means review. It can also indicate that there is something that has yet to be said. And I feel this person has written a message, although my guide said it's half a message at this moment in time. Something needs to be expressed in this particular connection. I feel this person is paying a lot of attention as to how you fit into their life. Two of Wands, the weight. This is a card of review. That's what I was mentioning with the High Priestess. The High Priestess reviews in silence. So it can be that you feel right now that you are like both really opening the door to the subconscious mind in order to reprogram certain behaviors that both of you may have had at some point, because it always takes two to tango, right? There's no fingers being pointed in this connection. I'm not saying that you did anything at all, my beautiful Taurians, but I feel this is a period where you sit with self in the separation period, which of course is a rite of passage, and you review some of the things that you're accountable for or they should be accountable for, and you kind of like reprogram cycles of repeat. So when we look at our past, we may have, especially your person with the Fool card, there's something from their childhood that they may have experienced or witnessed, seen, because there's a lot of eyes in this card reading. It can be that they witnessed parents or guardians divorcing, and that was their first foundation of love. So it means they have to review and reprogram cycles of hurt or pain that were never their story. But they picked up that narrative, that painful narrative, and they viewed it as this is what love must be, even though it is toxic, or, two people who are really unhealed, not seeking help to find a way to healthily articulate their feelings. They got caught up in that crossfire. So it can be that they emulated a pattern. Sometimes people, especially children, when they witness certain things that traumatize them or, that they find really hard to deal with, they seek out very similar circumstances to feel alive, to like feel that hit of drama, that intensity, because it makes them feel like, well, that's how I was taught it should be. So I feel your person is in a period of reprogramming right now. And I feel like they're learning from yesterday to reprogram today, to basically remind themselves that they can stop feeling something, whether it's fear of abandonment or whether it is self-loathing. They can catch themselves in that and reprogram. We all have that ability, and you may be going through this as well, but I feel something here needs to be reprogrammed so both of you can manifest an opportunity to come back together in a healthier union. We have that Two of Wands, which supports the review period, the waiting period. It indicates that there is an energy here of making a decision, that things fell apart, and it's like you would kind of like observe this person, because it's a very vigilant card. You're waiting for results. You're waiting for this person to show up, or you have been. But looking at your energy, I feel like you're past waiting now. So that Two of Wands indicates that, both of you are making progress in different ways. It may not feel like it because you're separate, but you're both envisaging a new way of dealing with this relationship. And I feel, you have already started to make progress, and you will find your way back towards each other, at least for another conversation. I can see communication in your future with this person. Seven of Swords. and the Tower. So there has to be an ego death here, okay? Two of Wands indicates, a time to wait. That is the nature of the twin flame connection. Wait and see, being at the crossroads. Where do we go from here? Determined to hold firm and say, look, unless you take accountability or show me that you are making an active choice to change or heal, because this can also be a healer card. The Seven of Swords is like, we keep running from this. There's an elephant in the room, and what I mean by that is there is a root cause or a wound that needs to be addressed on, I feel more than anything, on your person's side, because they got the star energy, which is healing. So I feel like they're doing that. But I feel in this energy, it's like an important decision needs to be made from an informed place, right? And I feel this is your person avoiding direct confrontation for some time because they have been running from their feelings. But also I feel there's something deep within this person. I'm being given this energy. I'm afraid that you'll be taken away from me. I don't know what. So either they feel like you will cheat on them. Betrayal is at the root of this person's energy. We got the Tower. I mean, fear will keep them stuck. The Tower is to be stuck in a cycle of repeat. If they keep running, then of course you're going to get nowhere. So I feel this is about you waiting to see if they're going to keep running. But also I feel because you have that Seven of Cups, which is on your side, this can indicate that you feel very doubtful in this connection. You feel like it's your turn to disappear or to protect yourself and step away. And you may be like reversing the magnets, the magnetic pull. It's like you're now becoming the runner, as it were, and they are going to come towards you because they got the Page of Pentacles, which is to make an effort to reach out with a message, to apply themselves. They're learning from their past mistakes. They're learning about, how they should have nourished the relationship, that they want to show up. They want to be dependable. I feel this person also has this energy about being worthy. They felt like they were not worthy. There's something within themselves that they had to heal about that as well that's coming through. And I feel this person wants to take responsibility. They want to show you they care. They want to invest. So I would say, yeah, this is an opportunity to allow this person to come to you and then watch and wait and see. But with that Tower energy, that is to break free from the prison of this relationship that has kept you both going round and round in circles in different ways. So as you can see there, you've literally been strong enough to release yourself from this, and that is going to like completely shatter the structure of this connection so that this person can come towards you. Okay, so I feel also, and I think I've mentioned this, there's something this person has yet to tell you. I feel like they're afraid of being judged about this, but I don't think that you will judge them on this. I feel like you are judging them on their actions because you are acutely aware that you have kind of, you and this person, you've ignited something in each other's soul that no one else can vibrationally match because it's a specific frequency towards each other, and that is what makes it worse. So I feel there's this energy of you wanting the truth. You want, to know where you stand, because right now you're feeling very uncertain with that card. You're like, you're not on safe ground. You feel very clouded about the whole experience, and you're not about to waste any more time with this, because time, of course, is so important. But we do have that Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is someone who wants to build a home, someone who's conserving themselves, someone who is protecting. And I feel there is this energy that you're protecting yourself, my beautiful Taurians, and this person's going to come towards you with some sort of communication because this is a breakthrough energy. Aces tend to be divine intervention, so I feel that this person will, find the right words to say to give you a meaningful conversation about taking accountability, because this is a card of responsibility and taking accountability and having the courage of your convictions. So I feel this person is going to offer you a truth that may unlock an understanding about what went down with this person, okay, and why they suddenly put the brakes on in this connection. But let me see a little bit more with that Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles is, of course, an energy of being practical, but also consulting. And also, I'm being given this energy of controlling when it is partnered with the Magician energy. So it could be that something from this person's past control them, but that's a really flimsy energy that I've got coming through, so I don't really want to follow that energy any further. I feel more than anything that this person had fears around settling down based on what they witnessed in childhood. We got the Strength card again. I also feel like this person, they grew up way before their time, very independent. It's like they had to take care of things, like from a very young age. And when they started to get older, they were like, I don't want responsibility. I don't want to do this. They really rebelled, like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. They had too much pressure on themselves from a very young age that they wanted to be footloose and fancy free. And I feel, you know, they got involved in a relationship that truly like shocked them or made them feel like love is something that hurts them. So they took it upon themselves to get closure on something very painful, but I feel like they haven't addressed the wound, the pain of it. It's like they don't want to go back to that person or that situation ever again, but at the same time, they're like, I'm strong enough than that. It doesn't affect me. But actually it has affected them because it has shaped their reality in dealing with love moving forward. It has bled into your relationship, as it were, influenced the relationship. Yeah, we got the Hermit. So I would say in the next 6 weeks, you and this person definitely going through the rite of passage of separation. There is communication coming on in. This person will send you a message. They've got the message card there. I feel this person is going to talk about their destiny, and they see you in it. They see you as their destiny. Because keys are all about destiny. Symbolically, they indicate that you hold the key to this person's heart, and they know it because they can't stop thinking about you, because this is a card of thought. And we've got the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so this is make or break, I would say. I feel because you got a Two of Wands and a Two of Pentacles, you're definitely going to hear from this person again. Two of Pentacles is still like trying to find the rhythm, or, you know, this person being inconsistent, or you kind of like not sure, because there feels like this dance around each other. And you know, the Hermit highlights that this person is alone, okay? So it doesn't mean that they're breadcrumbing or they've got somebody else, there's two timing there. It doesn't mean that at all, okay? It kind of means that this person and you, I guess, you're finding the rhythm of each other. Because as I mentioned earlier, it's like this clumsiness. But I feel this is about giving time for things to develop. And of course, you've given a lot of time to this. So I feel this is about commitments and tempering the commitments, not overgiving, as it were. The Hermit is spiritual enlightenment, is wisdom. It is to be separate. So I feel both of you will be single for the next coming weeks, but I feel both of you are strong enough to talk about things from a healthy place and to talk about why things have been inconsistent or up and down. And I feel you'll make a decision from there. It feels like there's options. For some of you beautiful Taurians, I feel like you actually have options in love. So you may have to make a choice between your twin and someone new coming in. Okay, let's go one more on that. And then I'll get to the conversations that have been left unsaid. Okay, there's something coming through here about your person talking about a coin, picking up a coin for good luck, and that their luck is changing, and they want to tell you. So you may get a message regarding that as well. That's coming through. We have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, of course, is a subconscious level. It's listening to your heart, your intuition, but also it is, you know, something that's been left unsaid. The High Priestess is an energy of not just mystery, it's also having faith over analysis, but it is clairvoyance. So I feel you're going to have like a prophetic dream where you dream about them and then they're going to reach out. To have the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, there's communication. But I feel with that High Priestess as well, there is a trust issue at the root of this relationship, and unless this person can overcome that, it will be something that will be ever present. So it'll be a project, as it were, but that's your prerogative whether you continue with this or not. But it will be a bit back and forth, for a while, is what I'm seeing. So let's get to some final cards regarding things that have been left unsaid. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to be aware of at this time? Can you please show them a way? Okay, so we have, I avoided what I was feeling. Yeah, this person, you don't need me to tell you this or this card to tell you this. This person was emotionally avoidant based on something that I feel stems from childhood, because whenever you get a full card energy, it's really interesting because every sign that I've read for a twin flame dynamic reading at this moment in time has had a full card pop out. Different cards, but the full card keeps popping out. So I feel we're in an age of consciousness right now, collectively, where we're all looking back at our journey from our childhood, the experiences we've had, the lessons, asking why, and, you know, seeing through the haze of life to clarity. So I feel there's a lot of questioning going on with the collective right now, and I feel it all stems, especially with twin flames. It's like the runner is being forced to look at the very foundation of themselves, right from childhood, the experiences they had and how it shaped who they are, so they can no longer avoid their feelings. So I feel this person is going through that right now. They're putting a spotlight on their childhood right up till teenage years is what I'm seeing here, because something in and around those, like teenage into early 20s as well, something in and around that caused a lot of sadness and pain for this person, and they're really going through the stuff to heal. So we've also got, let's just be honest with each other. I mean, that is a card of honesty. And I feel like you've been really honest with this person, my beautiful Taurians. You know, you're like, well, I've been honest. What are you hiding? So I feel this person, they're not hiding something that is going to be detrimental to the relationship. I feel that this person feels that they'd be judged based on something that they have been like keeping to themselves. Okay, so I feel this person does want to be honest with you. They do want to take accountability with the cards that have popped out and the energy that's coming through. I dream about a future with you. They're dreaming about you as well. Actually, there's going to be a conversation about the moon as well coming out there. Both of you kind of like looking at the moon. Maybe there's something about the moon, or you have a conversation about it, or perhaps it's like this person reaches out and says, I'm looking at the moon and I'm thinking of you. And you're like, oh my gosh, I was just looking at the moon thinking of you as well. There's just some sort of parallel kind of like energy going on here. But they have dreamt of a future with you. This is a card of settling down, building a home together. You know, there's rabbits in this card as well. So that can be that, yes, they are thinking more than just the physical aspect, because the Queen of Pentacles is all about value and effort. It's about investment, and it is about building a home with someone that you trust. So I feel this person has actually dreamt of a future with you. Now, whether they can overcome the blockage and take action towards opening up their emotions and their heart space to allow the intimate love in, that's another thing, but it will be a process. And hurting you was never my intention. And actually, I would say I agree with this person that they did not intend for you to get hurt. I feel this person was kind of like not looking for love. And I feel that they have some stuff deep within themselves, which we all do, of course. And they kind of, maybe on a subconscious level, because the High Priestess is there and it's shown up twice, maybe on a subconscious level, they were protecting themselves, or they were caught up in their fears, and they allowed their past to tear them down. And I hate this sentence, but it has just come through with my guides. Hurt people tend to hurt people, or at least push them away. And I feel you may have met this person when they were hurt, and they like unintentionally made you get caught up in the crossfire of their hurt or their life or their experiences, and emulated a pattern from what they witnessed and got caught up in when they were younger as well, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what's coming out there. Now I'm just going to go and get one final deck here just to see if there's anything here that could be a little bit of an eye-opener regarding anything more that has not been said. I just got the word closure just come through, so maybe they're getting closure on something. or you are. There's a breakthrough here. We've got the test. I mean, the separation period is the test to come home to self. And then you change the frequencies so that both magnets can match and come home to each other. It's about peeling back the layers of self in order to identify one's true purpose and also unconditional love for self. So we have the test, okay? So it says here, you're establishing boundaries, testing your limitations. How you resolve these conflicts will determine if you'll be able to stay together. And that's what did come out in this reading. The ability to overcome the obstacle, and the only way is through. So if this person has been avoiding, then it will perpetuate a cycle. But now I feel like they want to move through. There's also a breakthrough. And that's literally what this card means. You know, this is a card of transformation, a breakthrough, meaningful conversation, and an ability to move forward with new information. So we have, your connection is going through a big transformation that will elevate you to the next level. Believe in miracles. I mean, actually, this is a miracle card. This is fate and destiny intervening to bring the law of karma, a powerful force of transformation into your relationship. So I would say, yeah, butterflies everywhere. There's definitely elevation and transformation in this connection. And we've also got safe space. So, I mean, this really does come from childhood with this person. Safe space. It just feels like they're exploring love on new terms, as it were. But it says here, your twin will feel safer being friends first before getting intimate. Learn to enjoy the present moment and discover your playful side. So because they have the playful card there, you know, they do see you as someone who's very playful, very fun to be with. And of course, Page of Pentacles can be an offering of friendship first. This has happened twice now. I'm wondering what is moving on the altar. I'm going to have to look back on the camera. I don't know if you heard it. I heard it the first time. And I thought, oh, did I knock something? But I'm not touching anything. And then it's happened a second time. But, you know, my guides are not knocking on the altar because my guides are right beside me here at this moment in time. So I'm going to look back on the camera and see what is moving or shuffling here. That'd be interesting to see. But yeah, so I feel this is an energy of this person wanting to talk. And I feel this person is not asking you to be friends to have benefits with you first. There's no energy of that in this person's reading. I feel there's an energy of this person reaching out to give you clarity and to find that safe companionship within you where they can confide in you. So I feel it's a very short-lived kind of like, let's be friends kind of energy, but I feel they want to build a foundation of trust because I feel there is a trust issue at the root of this person, okay? So I will leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you. Of course, it's going to be very complex and it will not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor what popped out there. And finally, we have the cat. Now, the cat is all about independence. So you and your person were meant to be separate on purpose, to focus on your mission, your soul purpose, but also to be independent. You know, that's where you discover more about yourself. You learn more about who you are, what you want, and certainly what you do not want in relationships. You know, this is where you kind of like have a relationship with self. And I feel right now, this is about honoring your independent time, enjoying the singleness of your life. And then two people can come together and be a welcome addition in each other's lives to take this journey of life and love together, whilst at the same time retain your independence. I mean, this is also a trinket that indicates intuition, looking before you leap, cautious energy. You know, cats are very cautious. They can be, you know, very intuitive and feel everything so sensitively. And I feel there's something in that with this person. I mean, we all have the ability to have that, but we do not allow those fears. Because, and I'm only saying this because I'm hearing my guide say scaredy cat, okay? So either this person was bullied as well. This is a potential, but that was not explored in this reading. But it could be like a culmination of many difficulties that this person has faced in their lives that threaten to like tear down their identity or make them feel kind of like unloved in some way. And this person's battled through all of that to still try and like show up with their projects and their life, and then suddenly they were offered unconditional love with their twin, and they're like, is this a trick? Is this where I like fall in love and then my heart is ripped out? Well, I'm not trusting that. So there's something in that with this person that they're trying to overcome at this moment, and they will break through that. Looking at the cards, they will break through. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, my beautiful Taurians, and love and light.